So, Tina, hi.
Hi, Dorota.
So finally, we have it in our hand.
Yes, we have it in our hand.
Photographing palliative care.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
I feel very grateful, first of all, and I also feel very proud that that we have put this booklet together. And I'm proud of the fact that we have put this booklet together, but also of the fact that we have really met. And we're coming from two very different countries and working fields, and also from cultural backgrounds. And though we have found out that we have something, or that we have quite a lot in common, and that's first of all our interest in photography, but combined with the humanity and dignity of elderly people and people really at the end of the life. And I think, for me, the whole process was very, very enriching with you.
I feel like it's really very rewarding to keep it in hand. We've been meeting for 1.5 years.
Yes.
Every 2 weeks, talking, asking ourselves questions, discussing so many reflective conversations on photography, on life, of humanity, as you mentioned, on dignity, on transcendence, art, and just soothing and being human. Yeah. So now we can share these ideas with the people all around the world.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very happy about that, because I think these are the ideas that are worth spreading.
Absolutely.
This is so universal for everyone.
Yes.
Maybe you can say just a few words about palliative care. What is important in palliative care, since you really meet with people in palliative care regularly and you work with them?
I would say the human being is really important, and it's the patient, it's the person who's suffering of pain and who has to learn also how to let go. And he or she is in the center of all possible therapies, be it medical or nursing or psychological, or as we offer it, being photographical. And of course, the families are in the center. And I'm just thinking of this definition of palliative care, pallium, that means this code that is really warming a person, and to care of somebody or to care for somebody. I think shows a lot what it really is at the end. And I'm just thinking of this quotation of Cicely Saunders, who was a founder of the modern hospice movement in the 60s, 70s.
And we have also included that quotation to the book.
It's in the book, and she's really a very important name. And she says, you matter because you are you, and you matter at the end, to the end of your life. We will do all we can, not only to help you die peacefully, but also to live until you die. And I think it shows very much what is palliative care.
And it's in fact, very universal, because I for instance, work with adults and with elderly people. Yes, with older people, not in the palliative, but older people. And these subjects of kindness, care, dignity are simply valid, always valid. Because elderly people are, they are not so quick, not so fit. Sometimes they don't hear well, they don't see well, they are not always happy, but they need to feel okay as they are, and we can help them just by being kind, human.
And I think most of the people forget that we are all going to be there one day. And I think our society is so much focused on youth and fitness and perfection. But to focus on these group of people is, I think, a very important thing to do.
And not to lose the photography here. Talking about what is important is that we can support, visit, spend time with the elderly people, with the people in palliative care too. But what the point we've made in the handbook is that there is something special, something extra, let's say, we can do on top of that with photography, because the watching family albums and the photos and all these memories that come, then they create very special space for quiet and kind meeting.
Yeah.
So maybe just give us a few examples of what we can do with photography in this palliative care. Just a few examples. We wrote about them in the booklet.
Yes, and maybe just before to say what the elderly people have in advantage is that they have this huge story behind, that they have so much to tell, that they have a huge book of life experiences, and that's why it's in the end it's quite easy to start with this. So it can be, what we are doing can be as simple as looking at photographs and old photographs, or photographs of maybe even in the smartphone that a patient has, of kids or grandkids, or of the dog, or whatever, little personal things that really in the most cases lead to a whole to the fact that they can really open up their own history. So yes, we look at photographs, but we also, if it's possible, we can do collages with photographs of their life, their influences, important persons, and we can do memory books. It's also something that if possible can be something very important for the people, who are the families in the end.
Yes, and we can also ask questions. You know, me as a coach, I'm a specialist in questions. So, like for instance, what memories come back when you see this photo, or simply what is in the photo, or how do you feel, or what do you feel proud of when you look in this photo. So there are several ways of engaging into the conversation and spending time in a productive, creative and way that raises good emotions, nice emotions.
Yes, but Dorota, maybe this is really interesting that you mentioned this again, because this is exactly what put us together, is this combination. Or is like the visual part, that I just say a photo can tell hundreds of stories, and you are the one who brings the verbal aspect to it, to say, yes, a photograph can tell 100 stories, but you have also to find the right question for the person, and this is also something very very sensitive and important.
And even more, not only a question, but also to do it in the right way, without expectations. Keep it simple, keep it the way that people can open up and can be relaxed and feel comfortable about talking.
I think it's a very important point, really, to give them the possibility to how can you say, what I'm realizing often is, and I think we have written this also in the book, is that once you start with a little thing, you can open up really the memory of the patient, and there is this enthusiasm also, and this great,
just a nice feeling. Tina, let's show some photos in the book, because we've included several books from your work. Maybe you can show your favorite one.
I mean, what I really like, for example, it's this is the cover, and this is the back cover. It's a very simple black and white photo from the 70s. And I have to say, in the book, mostly these are photographs from one patient that I have worked with for several weeks before she died. And this is a photograph, she was very young. And at the end of our or not at the end, but shortly before she died, she could not speak anymore. And I remember this photograph that, of course, she showed me. It was in her photo album, and I just asked questions. Do you remember what you had, what you were wearing there? And for her, it was that the whole situation came back. This photograph, she knew exactly when it was taken, how she felt. She was very much in love with this person and what she was wearing. And this was such a moment of joy that came back. And we have to say, she could not talk anymore. So it was even without words. There was a moment, I think just a moment of real joy and happiness that came.
So I can see how you were engaged.
I like this very much.
Your memories too. Okay, shall I show my photo maybe?
Yes.
We didn't
also from the book.
My photos. No, we didn't include my photos in the booklet because the handbook is illustrated with the photos from your work in palliative care. However, I also do some work, and I would like for that purpose to show a photo that I took during a conversation with my mother. And here it also shows how this all happens. You can see the hand of my mother. She's showing a photo with her uncle here on this side. And I was also engaged and had my emotions when I watched that scene. That's why I took the photo, because I can see the hand of my mother that resembles today so much to the hand of my grandfather, who doesn't live anymore.
Yes.
But I can see that my hands slowly similar. And also this cup of porcelain that was always in the house of my grandparents. So this is how these photos really engage and take us back to sweet memories.
Maybe we have to say to this photo, it's the ideal situation also, or that you can be at home with somebody, that there is time, that there's material, that there's a certain atmosphere. Sometimes you don't have this. And you have to figure out what you can do then.
Good. So for the people who are interested in receiving our handbook, it is already available. So starting from 11 November 2021, you can order it. You can get it from me, from Tina, from my website, photoincoaching.com, from Tina website, tinaruzinger.com, or just contacting us. And Tina, that was an amazing work together. I'm sure it's just the beginning.
Thank you very much.
Of our work and cooperation, dissemination of these ideas that are so valuable. And thank you for this conversation.
Thank you.
Let's see what the future will bring us.
Yes. Be curious and open.
Exactly. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Dorota.